Why not cross by boat CH009? Growing suspicion, Nan Yi struggled in the lake. She wasn't a poor swimmer, but having jumped into the cold water unprepared, her movements became frantic. The water rushed into her nostrils, and the biting cold spread through her limbs. This coldness instantly transported her back to the icy snowy Tiger Kneeling Mountain. During those days, she had been running through the snow-covered mountains, until she reached that dilapidated Taoist temple. Although Peng Yu had told her that it would be enough to send a message to Gu Pavilion, Nan Yi feared she wouldn't make it to Liju Mansion alive, so she wanted to make more preparations. The Taoist temple was now a ruin, with no one to be found. There was indeed a withered tree in the yard. Nan Yi couldn't read, but she had an exceptional memory. She only needed a single glance at the silk letter, and if she got of each character as a pattern, she memorized all the patterns on the letter at once. Nan Yi found a talisman, but couldn't find any ink or brushes. In desperation, she bit her finger until it bled, using the blood from her fingertip to carefully replicate the characters from the silk letter onto the talisman, then buried the talisman beneath the large tree. After completing all of this, she went to the Chin family's door in Luong Town. But after several days had passed, she didn't dare recall what had happened. What was the plan? Had it succeeded? Had the message buried beneath the tree been seen by King Lingyan? If King Lingyan was captured, would she become the eternal sinner? She was confused. She was just a small thief, never intending to become involved in any earth-shattering events. It was only now, as the icy water enveloped her, that she remembered these things. Soon, Nan Yi was pulled from the water. The waiting maidservants immediately wrapped her in a thick blanket, and handed her hot ginger tea to warm her up. Even so, Nan Yi still sneezed several times. Quickly, take the young mistress to change her clothes. The woman who spoke was Lu Jingxia, the third concubine of the main branch of the Shay family. She had a gentle appearance, but her movements were sharp and decisive. Nan Yi, dazed, was surrounded by the maids and led forward, surrounded by unfamiliar faces. Sensing Nan Yi's unease, Lu Jingxia stepped forward and smiled reassuringly. Earlier, the officials searched for the assassins in the wedding hall, but the young mistress was missing. Everyone assumed. Lu Jingxia trailed off. But no one expected that the young mistress was such a loyal woman, willing to sacrifice herself for the eldest son. Nan Yi felt a little relief in her heart. At least someone believed her performance. However, as she looked around, Shay Keishan was nowhere to be seen. Husha stood on the high city wall, in a position where he could see the green-roofed, red-eaved Shay family's Wangshuwu. The winding corridors connected to the courtyards, and blurry figures passed under the eaves. Despite the great upheaval, the imposing and dignified air of the great family still prevailed. The two spies who had infiltrated the wedding hall returned and reported to Husha, "General, Shay Hengzai is dead." "Did you act?" "It's strange." The prefect and young master Keishan suddenly arrived. "We didn't find a suitable opportunity to act, but Shay Hengzai died suddenly. The doctor said it was caused by a heart attack from extreme stress. There were no external injuries, but we don't know if there's another hidden cause." Husha wasn't surprised. Instead, he revealed a knowing sneer. The prefect used the investigation into Shay Hengzai's death as an excuse to surround Wangshuwu with soldiers. They've searched the place inside and out but found no trace of King Lingyan. The soldiers have already withdrawn. Looks like the Shay family didn't help King Lingyan. Husha mused. Someone must have warned King Lingyan about the ambush in the mountain valley, but there was no time to inform Shay Hengzai. That's why he didn't know King Lingyan wouldn't show up. Otherwise, he wouldn't have sent so many assassins. It's clear that he was prepared for a desperate last stand. But who warned King Lingyan? Could there be a spy in our army? Husha closed his eyes, his mind quickly processing the situation. He knew that the flow of intelligence would directly impact the direction of the battle. From the moment they got the intelligence about Shay Hengzai's plan to aid King Lingyan, they had decided to trap him. Husha had intentionally sealed off information. Only a few trusted individuals knew the location and time of the operation. The rest of the soldiers found out just before they set off. Though Husha appeared to be a rough and hasty man, he was in fact meticulous and highly observant. He mentally went over the soldiers who had accompanied him, and the more he got about it, the more suspicious everyone seemed, especially Shay Keishan. To be honest, even though Shay Keishan had served the Qi royal court for many years, Husha still didn't trust this person from the Central Plains. Those not of our blood are bound to have different intentions. From the moment Shay Keishan had handled the intelligence from Liju Mansion, Husha had kept a close watch on him, observing his every move. Shay Keishan hadn't given any signs of leaking information. Husha recalled the day Shay Keishan's purse was stolen, but the thief, along with Peng Yu who had dealt with the intelligence, and everyone at the inn was now dead. So who was the spy? Who had notified King Lingyan? Husha was determined to root out the person responsible, regardless of the cost. If he didn't, future operations would be severely hindered. His expression darkened, and he slammed his fist against the brick wall. Shay Keishan stood in the morning hall, staring at the lifeless man in the coffin. The Shay family had hung red ribbons for his wedding, and had replaced the candles for his funeral, and all of this had changed in a single night. Big brother, forgive me. Shay Keishan leaned forward, prying open Shay Hengzai's mouth, and inserted a silver needle into his throat. The silver needle showed no reaction. He motioned for He Ping, who immediately stepped forward and helped him steady the needle. Shay Keishan unbuttoned Shay Hengzai's coat and, using a towel soaked in hot vinegar, slowly wiped his abdomen, moving toward the throat. The deep-lying poison began to surface, turning the needle black. He Ping observed the needle with surprise and whispered, the eldest son was poisoned. And the poison had been in his system for a long time, requiring years of slow ingestion to create the illusion of a sudden heart attack tonight. Shay Keishan retrieved the towel, quickly wiping the watermarks from Shay Hengzai's body with a dry towel and rescuing his clothes, making everything appear normal again. He Ping realized something. So, the eldest son's chronic illness these past years. Shay Keishan nodded, analyzing the poisoner must be hiding within the Shay family. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to poison him so discreetly. That person. Is it a spy that Husha planted within the Shay family? Yes. But then Husha sent 2 assassins into the wedding hall to take action, yet he didn't inform the young master. He doesn't trust me, Shay Keishan said with a self-deprecating smile. I still carry foreign blood. Even though I've served in the Qi royal court for many years, I'm still an outsider. He Ping felt indignant for his master. Even the prime minister trusts you deeply. Why would a small general question you? Husha is no small general. In 1 year he achieved the accomplishments that others can only hope to achieve in 5. If he succeeds in capturing King Lingyan this time and returns to the royal court, his position might rival that of the prime minister. He Ping pouted in dissatisfaction, but he had no rebuttal. Do not speak of the poisoning of the eldest son to anyone. If you don't speak, then the Shay family will continue to misunderstand that you were the one who angered the eldest son to death. If you want to return to the Shay family, you can't let them continue treating you with such disregard. They despise me. Did that only start after my elder brother's death tonight? He Ping was left speechless. Having betrayed his country and his family, his path was already much harder than others. There was no need for argument, he just had to keep walking forward. As they spoke, Shay Keishan had already redressed Shay Hengzai. He carefully and solemnly smoothed out the folds on his elder brother's clothing, then lifted his face, his expression as calm as usual. Take these things back and keep them safe. I'll stay here for a while longer. He Ping cupped his hands and said, yes, young master.